Hi, my name is Lucy Thorpe. I'm a freelance digital marketer. I work with tech companies and mainly with small companies where I feel that I can really make a difference.
Do you think AI kills creativity?
I think it could do. I think, I'm one of these people who find it terrifying and exciting at the same time. I mean, there's huge potential, but it's also it could be desperate for a lot of people. So I'm trying to maybe have it both ways. Sorry.
And then I'm also just thinking for art directors who come up with this brilliant concept of employing models or maybe footballers or sports enthusiasts to champion a campaign through visuals. And now we have people just sitting on their computer and generating these videos. Do you think that the people who actually sit on their computers to generate videos in a very cheap and cheerful way would have an edge in future over people who do the actual work of using real people, directing brilliant advertisement and pushing online?
Well, again, it's there's a kind of dual response to that in that people who work well with AI are going to find themselves in work because if they can do it well and cheaply, then they will be in demand. I mean, there's talk about the whole television industry sort of switching over to employing people who are brilliant at manipulating the technology and making short films with people who aren't real actors. But on the other hand, so the other side of my argument is that particularly in marketing, authenticity is going to become even more important.
Exactly.
And authority is going to be given to content which is authentic and real people and real influencers and real people who know what they're talking about and haven't just sort of digested whatever AI summary that they've looked up. So yeah, there will be technical specialists in AI for sure, but there will also be a huge area for authenticity.
I agree. I think that touches on my next question. I was going to ask, how do you think customers receive AI-generated adverts?
Yeah, I think if they can tell the difference, they don't like it.
Exactly.
But then that's quite that's a moot point, isn't it? Because people say you're going to get to the point where you can't tell the difference. I've been experimenting with some technology where you can get an avatar and you can write it a script and it will move and the mouth will work with the words and everything's perfectly in sync. And I showed it to some colleagues and they said, yeah, but the whole point about our brand is that we're a family firm and we're approachable and authentic. So we don't particularly want some slick individual presenting our words for us. We'd rather be ourselves.
Absolutely.
And that people will buy from people as they always have.
If you could send your younger self a short voice note from the future, what would you say?
I know you like the looking back questions.
I do like
it. Well, again, this sort of comes back to the way I feel about Gen Zs looking for work, which is that it's really, really tough and you have to be resilient. I would sort of say to myself, keep going. Don't give up. Be adaptable, be resilient, and try not to take it personally.
Take what personally?
Rejection, which is like,
okay.
You're going to get rejected. So voice note to self. Sorry, I touched my microphone. Voice note to self, you're going to get rejected. Please try really hard not to take it personally. It's not you. The economic conditions are really, really hard out there. AI is making it hard for everybody. Just keep going and there will be a place for you at some point. I hope you can make enough money to keep body and soul together while you're trying to find a job.
If you could, would you remove AI?
can't put genies back in bottles, I don't think. I don't think you can turn the clock back on anything. I mean, if you start talking about AI, do you want to go back? There's this marvelous comedy sketch where they just keep going back and back and back until everybody's in the Stone Age.
Well,
so you know, we're not going to be doing that and saying, "Oh, it was so much better," you know, when we were all weavers. Or
no.
you can't do that. I mean, I wish that we had grown-ups in charge who could put safeguards around new technologies, and that things weren't quite so cavalier. But, you know, Wild West situations have always existed. And so let's hope that we live and learn and grow and develop. I mean, yeah, I'd like there to be some grown-ups in the room, but I don't want to sort of take us right back to the beginning.
Right, true. And also this recent age verification policy on social media. What's your thought on that?
For me, the jury's out on that slightly, in that it seems so obvious that obviously you would want age verification to access hardcore pornography,
yes,
or what have you. Now, having said that, is age verification going to solve the problem? And maybe it's more a societal problem rather than an age verification problem. And also, I follow one particular Substacker and blogger called Taylor Lawrence, who believes that it's actually actively bad and that it's a form of censorship and it will stop young creators, and that it's a form of it's a sort of a tool that can be used for good, but it can also be used for harm. It can be used for censorship. So, I mean, I take on board all kinds of opinions on this, and I don't really have I don't have an easy answer, but I do sometimes think that legislation can be used against people, and that it's better to tackle the root cause than to just layer on more and more and more bans and legislation.
Right. See your point. So now back to you. You've run marathons, lifted weights, and you read constantly. Which of these habits do you think has had the biggest impact on your career mindset?
So I think it's very clear for me that it would be the marathons.
Oh, how's that?
Yes, so I ran 2 marathons. One of them was London, but the first one was a small marathon. I just wanted to know that I could do it, but what I hadn't realised was that it would have this huge effect on me, in that it taught me that you can do anything if you set your mind to it. Wow. Because running a marathon is about breaking things down into small chunks. And if you've got a massive task that you need to do, like I was once asked to write an ebook for SAP on a topic that I was unfamiliar with, and I said yes, and then I was like, I really don't think I can do this. But then
Why did you say yes? Why did you say yes?
Why did I say yes? Because the person asking me to do it believed that I could do it.
Oh, right.
She believed I could do it, and she was going to pay me.
Okay.
So those are always very strong motivating factors. But I kind of also knew that I could do it, because if you break something down into chunks and you don't panic, you can do anything. It's such a brilliant lesson. So you get a marathon plan. You obviously get a marathon plan that suits you. You're not going to run it under 3 hours or whatever. You get a marathon plan that says, get through it. And then you follow that plan. And you give yourself enough time to do it. And instead of not doing it, you actually do it. You have to actually do it. And you give yourself long enough. So like for a marathon, it takes about 9 months, I'd say, to train for a marathon. And you're breaking it down into small chunks. And it's never impossible, because all you have to do is what you have to do that day, which is run 10 miles, run 15 miles, go and do some strength work, go and do some stretching or whatever. And you follow the plan. And it's a bit like athletes and footballers. You just go and execute, do the plan, execute the plan, and then you've done it. It's amazing. It's such a life lesson. And so I equate running a marathon with tackling a really big task, like writing an ebook or devising and executing a marketing campaign. You can do it, I promise you.
Interesting. So what was more fulfilling for you? Was it the practice, the 9 months, or was it the actual marathon?
I mean, the real work is the 9 months, isn't it? The actual day, it's almost, that's like the icing on the cake, going out there and doing it. The 9 months is the hard slog. On the day, you just get carried through with adrenaline and stuff. I mean, it's really hard work running 26 miles, and you feel awful afterwards. And I had terrible blisters and everything. But it was that journey. It was knowing that I could do it that had such a psychological impact on me.
Great. And also, you've used the line, "Don't overthink things." So can you share a time when acting quickly rather than overthinking or overanalyzing things worked out for you?
So this is something I like to think about in terms of people I coach on using LinkedIn, which is I've made LinkedIn a bit of a specialism for me, and I've ended up working with quite a lot of young marketers over the years, and I am currently working with young marketers on how to use LinkedIn. And what they always say is, I can't put myself out there. I'm nervous and I don't know what to say. And I would say, just don't overthink it. Just get out there. And if you see something that you want to respond to because it chimes with you, then just leave a comment or work that up into your own post. Do it and don't think about it too hard. My caveat is always, don't get your employer into trouble, don't break the law, don't bring anyone, particularly yourself, into disrepute, but do it. So that's why I say don't overthink things. Just dip your toe in, just jump in, either of those things.
Right. So where do you draw the line between measuring 10 times and cutting once and jumping into it?
I mean, it's obviously good advice that you shouldn't be rash.
Yes.
Nobody wants, as I say, nobody wants anybody getting anyone into trouble, and nobody wants to find you've done something and it's a disaster. But I think the thing with LinkedIn is that how wrong can you go? People tend to overstate how much damage they think that they can cause. They think that they're going to cause massive reputational damage by saying something really quite mild and making a gentle comment about something, and they really aren't. And I think that's what I'm trying to get over, that you sort of overstating how much damage you can do, because 9 times out of 10 on something like LinkedIn, nobody's looking at you. I mean, I think if you're running a massive campaign for a huge sports brand, then yes, obviously you're going to have to get everything signed off at every single level. But little comments on LinkedIn is not that.
True. Great. So who's your ultimate role model right now? Do you have a role model?
Oh, I love the questions about role models, because I don't think I have a particular role model within my industry. I have people that I admire. I mean, I really love this guy called Bruce Daisley. He used to be head of Twitter in the UK, and then he gave that up, and now he has a blog and a podcast called Eat, Sleep, Work, Repeat, and he talks about workplace culture. And I'm really interested in workplace culture, because it's about making workplaces fit for human consumption, right. Really. Like, nobody wants to work in a toxic environment. And I think it's great that people are discussing what makes a good working environment. But outside of work and probably leisure, I really like Captain Sandy from Below Deck. I'm absolutely addicted to Below Deck. I love to unwind to series after series. And when it's Captain Sandy, who's the captain of the yacht, I absolutely love it, because she's such a brilliant leader. I mean, this is a series about a workplace.
Yes.
Actually. And that's probably why I'm really, really attracted to it, above and beyond any other kind of reality TV. And she leads her teams brilliantly. And if people are inexperienced, she doesn't call them out and she doesn't sack them. She gives them a chance and she encourages people. And I think people could learn so much from her because she doesn't take any nonsense. If she gives somebody a chance and they repeatedly refuse to listen, then she will get rid of them and she'll be quite hard. But up until that point, she's full of encouragement and full of, I mean, she's a massive mentor to all the people on her yacht.
Great. Awesome.
I love her. I find her so entertaining, but also like somebody that I really admire.
Great. I think that nicely leads me to the next question about your favorite quote, which is respect yourself.
Well, that's my Madonna quote.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, I'm not going to say that I want Madonna as my mentor, but she was always somebody I really, really adored when I was younger, and I liked her music. And I think respect yourself is actually, it's a message from pre-Madonna. To be honest, it goes all the way, Aretha Franklin and all that. It's a universal message, isn't it? That you've got to be able to stand tall and not take any nonsense. And I think we've sort of touched on issues like toxic workplaces. And if you can't make a change, then you have to respect yourself and get out. And you have to stand up for yourself. So have that in the back of your mind when you're being adaptable and you're playing the cards that you've been given. But at the end of the day, don't compromise your own values. I think you have to know what your values are and align them with what you're doing. And then hopefully you'll be happy in all of this.
What is something you regret not saying to someone?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot now. I think the only things I regret not saying are positive things. I think if we're going to be mentors and leaders, or just the more mature person in a workplace, then I think you should go out of your way to say when somebody's done something well. And I think maybe that doesn't get said enough. I don't think it was said to me enough. And I would like to think that when I see somebody doing something well, that I would say it. And I regret all the times in the past when I wasn't having a great time at work, when I wasn't generous with my praise. It's very easy to think, well, nobody's praising me, so I'm not going to praise them. And I think with maturity, you learn that you give good things and then good things will come back to you.
What is the most painful thing anyone has ever said to you?
Oh, well, that's easy. Although
That's easy.
Yeah, it's easy. Although I don't necessarily want to admit it to you, but no. Once when I was working at the BBC, there was a change of management, and the person who had employed me as a newsreader moved on to somewhere else, and somebody else came in their stead. And they were not the person who had employed me. They hadn't chosen me, so they felt no investment in my continued existence. And they said to me, I don't think you're all that. And I was devastated. It took me about 15 years to get over it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so be really careful what you say to people, because it can be devastating. And I kind of get why he said it. I think he was thinking, I'm new and I get to make the choices now. I get to choose who I want to do these high-profile jobs. But you've got to be careful about what you say to people, because that was not nice.
So how did you finally get over it?
How did I get over it?
Yeah.
Time. Time is a great healer. And you have to do the things that I've been telling everybody else to do, which is not take it personally and to understand where it was coming from. and it felt very personal. And if you're listening, maybe it was personal, but I don't think it was. I don't think it was personal. I just think he wanted to put his stamp on his new job, and good luck to him. But I'm over it now.
What's an experience that has changed your life?
Having children. That's an easy one as well. Having children has changed my life, and because it means that the choices that you make are not just for you. You have to take other people into consideration, and you go from, like I say, you have your dream career and you do your dream career, and then later you're cutting your cloth slightly differently because you're trying to get it to fit with your life, and you're making slightly different choices. So I'd like to say they've changed my life for the better, but you know.
And what makes you confident?
Experience makes me confident. The older I get, the more confident I become. And I don't think there's any shortcut to that. You just have to fake it till you make it, get loads of experience under your belt, and then also menopause. You don't care what you think. You don't care what other people think. I care very much what I think. But the older you get, and when you get to menopause, you really don't care what people think about you, and it's brilliant. It's so liberating.
Right. So talking about menopause, what is it about menopause that people don't know? Or maybe an unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion. I mean, I think one of the opinions about menopause is that it's just about turning on the air conditioning. It's just about women feeling hot. And that if you make some minor adjustments in the workplace, like having air conditioning, then everything's going to be fine. It's a big thing for some women, and for other women, not so much. I'd like everybody to know more about it, but I don't want men to feel left out. I want to get involved in men's issues as well, as much as concentrating on women's issues. I want to bring everybody up. I want to spread the love in terms of where we're focusing our attention and scarce resources. But maybe HRT is not your enemy. It's actually really quite a positive thing for a lot of people. So maybe take that message away.
Do you think women should be singled out? Should they be focused on women? Should they be praised and recognized in that space?
I think women are really badly underrepresented in technology, and therefore anything positive that can be done to highlight women's achievements in tech they're fine by me. I mean, when I was working at Sapphire Systems, we used to hold special events on International Women's Day, and we did like series of posts on LinkedIn about women who'd been recently promoted, because you've got to be seen to be doing it in order to encourage other women to come forward. I mean, in general, I don't want women to feel that they're getting, or other people to feel that women are getting special treatment, because I'm very aware that working in mixed teams, there are lots of people who've got issues with lots of different things. And, I felt that there were some young men there who were fathers whose particular issues about being with their children at the end of each working day, they weren't being addressed. So I don't want to make a special case for women, but I think women in technology, I think there kind of is a special case. And therefore I would encourage all kinds of positivity around that, and highlighting what we can do to make the situation better.
I have noticed too that you're a bit realistic about legacy. So if someone remembered you 20 years from now for just one thing, what would you want it to be?
Oh, just one thing. I'd like at least two. And no, I think I would like to be remembered for being authentic. I think it's really important that people can be their authentic self, the whole kind of like bring your whole self to work and be who you are. And I think part of my authentic self is that I'd like to think that I was fun to work with. So if that makes it two things, that I was funny and that I was authentic, then it's two things.
And for young professionals breaking into marketing today, what's one habit or mindset that will make them stand out for the right reasons?
Well, I think the habit is curiosity and having a kind of lifelong learning mentality. The thing about going out and finding information about your niche and really digging into what's going on in marketing and what's going on in your particular niche, like for me it's technology, doing that extracurricular stuff that nobody's going to pay you for. Nobody's going to examine you on it, but you're going to be able to bring extra stuff to the table if you are reading the Substacks, listening to the blogs. There's a brilliant video blog that I listen to called Blame It on Marketing, which are two fantastic young women. They're very lively. They cover loads of different topics. You know, you get involved in something like that, consuming it, go out and be it. You know, start your own video blog and start interviewing people. I mean, I had a podcast for a while, and that was fantastic fun. All this kind of content creation, even if it's extracurricular, just do it, get stuck in, learn new things.